You know that feeling when you get completely lost in a good book? When the world around you fades away and you're transported somewhere new? Well, what if I told you that this simple pleasure could actually help you live a longer, healthier life? It's true. Research shows that seniors who read regularly tend to live longer, stay sharper, and enjoy better quality of life. Today, I want to share with you 4 powerful benefits of reading after 60 and how you can make this wonderful habit work for you. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I've never been much of a reader, or my eyes aren't what they used to be. Don't worry, we'll talk about solutions for all of that, because here's the beautiful thing about reading. It's not about how fast you read or how many books you finish. It's about engaging your mind in ways that provide real, measurable health benefits. Let's start with the first 2 benefits that might surprise you. The first benefit is what researchers call cognitive reserve. This is like a savings account for your brain. The more you deposit through activities like reading, the more you have to draw from as you age. My friend Martha, who's 82, is living proof of this. She's been an avid reader her whole life, and even now, her memory and reasoning skills put people 20 years younger to shame. A Yale University study found that people who read books regularly had a 20% reduction in mortality compared to non-readers. That's like adding nearly 2 extra years to your life. Here's how it works. When you read, especially fiction, you're giving your brain an incredible workout. You're keeping track of characters, following plot lines, visualizing settings, all of which activate multiple areas of your brain simultaneously. And the best part? Unlike physical exercise, you can do this while comfortably seated with a cup of tea. Try this. Set aside just 20 minutes a day for reading. It doesn't have to be War and Peace. Even a light novel or interesting magazine article will do the trick. The second benefit is stress reduction, and this one is more powerful than you might realize. When researchers at the University of Sussex measured stress levels, they found that just 6 minutes of reading could reduce stress by up to 68%, more than listening to music or going for a walk. My neighbor Bob discovered this after his wife passed away. He told me that getting lost in a good mystery novel each evening became his sanctuary, helping him through that difficult time. Here's why reading is such an effective stress buster. It requires focused attention, which naturally pushes out anxious thoughts and worries. Unlike watching TV where the story moves forward whether you're paying attention or not, reading demands your active participation. This creates a perfect mental escape hatch from daily stresses. If you're feeling overwhelmed, try this. When worries start circling, pick up a book and read just 1 chapter. You'll often find your perspective has shifted by the end. Now, before we move on to our next 2 benefits, I want to address something important. Some of you might be thinking, but reading is hard for me now. Maybe your eyes tire easily, or holding a book is uncomfortable. The good news is there are so many alternatives today. Large print books, e-readers where you can adjust the font size, audiobooks. All of these provide the same benefits. My friend Edna switched to audiobooks when her vision declined, and she says she's reading more now than ever before while she gardens or does household chores. What's wonderful about these first 2 benefits is how they work together. Building cognitive reserve helps protect your brain for the long term, while stress reduction improves your quality of life right now. And neither requires you to become some kind of bookworm. Just finding material you enjoy and making a regular part of your routine. This brings us perfectly to our next 2 benefits, including one that might surprise you about how reading can actually improve your social life after 60, and another that shows why reading physical books might have some special advantages. But we'll get to those in just a moment. Now that we explored how reading builds cognitive reserve and reduces stress, let's talk about a benefit you might not expect. How reading can actually expand your social world after 60. This was something my friend Helen discovered when she joined her local library's book club at age 72. At first, she went just for the books, but within months she made a whole new circle of friends. What started as literary discussions often turned into lunch dates, museum outings, and even a few memorable road trips to authors' hometowns. Here's why the social connection matters so much. Reading gives us something meaningful to share with others. When you've all read the same book, you automatically have fascinating topics to discuss that go deeper than weather or aches and pains. Research from the University of Liverpool found that seniors in reading groups reported feeling less lonely and more connected to their community. But you don't need a formal book club to get these benefits. My neighbor George started his own two-person book club with his granddaughter where they read the same book and discuss it over video calls. Their relationship has never been stronger. The fourth benefit is all about sleep quality, something many of us struggle with as we get older. Unlike the blue light from TVs and tablets that can disrupt sleep patterns, reading a physical book before bed creates the perfect conditions for restful sleep. My cousin Margaret swears by her nightly reading ritual, 30 minutes with a book in bed, and she's been sleeping better at 75 than she did at 50. Here's what science tells us. Reading a printed book is part of your bedtime routine signals to your brain that it's time to wind down. The physical act of turning pages, the rhythm of reading, even the smell of paper, all combine to create a powerful sleep trigger. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that seniors who replaced screen time with reading before bed fell asleep faster and reported better sleep quality. Try this. Keep it engaging but not too thrilling. Book by your bedside and make it the last thing you do before turning out the light. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I prefer my e-reader at night. That's perfectly fine. Many e-readers now have settings that reduce blue light. The key is making reading, not screen scrolling, your final activity before sleep. My friend Bob uses his tablet for reading, but he's careful to turn off all other notifications and stick to the book he's enjoying. What's fascinating about these middle two benefits is how they show reading's power to connect us, both to others and to ourselves. Through book discussions, we maintain vital social bonds that keep us engaged with the world. Through bedtime reading, we maintain a healthy relationship with our own need for rest and rejuvenation. Together, they create a beautiful balance between connection and solitude that's so important as we age. Before we move to our final points, I want to share a story about my neighbor Ed. He'd never been much of a reader until retirement, when he decided to challenge himself to read one book about history each month. What started as a personal project turned into something remarkable. At 78, he became the go-to history expert at his senior center, leading fascinating discussions that drew crowds. His secret? He didn't worry about reading the right books. He simply followed his curiosity. That's the beauty of reading later in life. It's not for a grade or for work, but purely for the joy of learning. This idea of joyful exploration leads us perfectly into our final benefits, including how reading can help us navigate life's big transitions after 60, and some practical tips for making reading easier if you face vision or concentration challenges. Let's talk about one of the most profound yet often overlooked benefits of reading later in life: how books can help us navigate the big transitions that come after 60. Whether it's retirement, losing loved ones, health changes, or simply adjusting to an empty nest, reading provides something remarkable: the ability to explore these experiences through countless perspectives before we face them ourselves. My friend Claire discovered this when she read a novel about a woman reinventing herself after widowhood, 2 years before she lost her own husband. Those fictional insights became a lifeline when she needed them most. Here's why this matters. Reading builds emotional resilience by letting us safely practice life's challenges through stories. Research from the University of Toronto shows that literary fiction, in particular, helps develop empathy and emotional intelligence, crucial skills for maintaining relationships as we age. But it's not just fiction that helps. Memoirs can show us how others overcame similar struggles, while practical books can provide roadmaps for everything from downsizing your home to starting new hobbies in retirement. The sixth benefit is what I call mental time travel. Reading's unique ability to keep us engaged with both past and future. Historical novels can reconnect us with the eras we lived through, while science fiction keeps our minds open to possibilities. My 85-year-old Uncle Jim, a former engineer, stays remarkably sharp by reading both World War II histories, which he experienced as a child, and books about future technologies. This back and forth, he says, keeps his mind flexible and curious. Now, let's address some practical ways to make reading easier if you face physical challenges. First, for vision issues. Today's e-readers allow you to adjust font sizes dramatically, and many public libraries offer large print collections. Audiobooks are another wonderful option. You can listen while doing household chores or gardening. My friend Marge, who has macular degeneration, reads more now through audiobooks than she ever did with print. For those with arthritis or hand weakness, lightweight e-readers or book stands can help, as can digital books that turn pages with a tap. If concentration is difficult, try starting with short stories or essay collections where you can enjoy complete pieces in brief sittings. My neighbor Tom began with 10-minute reading sessions and gradually built up his focus. Remember, there's no right way to read. The benefits come from engaging with the material, however that works best for you. What's beautiful about all these benefits is how they compound over time, like putting money in a retirement account. Every page you read is an investment in your cognitive and emotional well-being. Studies show that seniors who engage in regular mental activities like reading may delay the onset of dementia symptoms by up to 5 years. But more importantly, they report greater life satisfaction and sense of purpose. As we wrap up, let me share one final story about my book club friend Esther. At 90, she's the most vibrant reader I know, always recommending books that challenge and delight our group. When asked her secret, she said, "I don't read to live longer. I read to live deeper." That wisdom captures exactly why reading matters so much after 60. It's not just about adding years to your life, but life to your years. Here's a simple challenge to get started. Visit your local library this week. Many offer senior delivery services if mobility is an issue, and ask the librarian for one recommendation in a genre you've never tried before. Or download a book app and explore their curated collections. The important thing is to begin wherever you are with whatever works for you. I'd love to hear in the comments. What's the most impactful book you've read recently? Have you noticed changes in how you read as you've gotten older? What reading challenges have you overcome? If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button. It helps others discover this important message. And subscribe for more content about thriving after 60. Remember what the great writer George R. R. Martin said, "A reader lives 1,000 lives before he dies. The man who never reads lives only one." Here's to living all those extra lives, enjoying every page of the journey.